Vision of the Future is a program produced in conjunction with the Nikkei newspaper, exploring the many issues facing Japan and the world. Our theme is things that only people can accomplish. We speak with top Japanese executives as we envision a brighter future together with our viewers. Our guest this time is
I want to talk today about the theme of friends and partners. When you were a student, or when you were a child, who were your friends and partners? In elementary and junior high school, I didn't like being part of groups. You didn't like being in a group? I didn't really like it. That's why I think I had a small circle of friends. I see. As I entered high school and going on to university, I gradually started taking an interest in team sports. You played rugby? And through those friends from sports, I also made friends with my classmates. These friends I made were not about forming cliques. Everyone was equal, and it felt very comfortable. I know you threw yourself into rugby in both high school and university. How were your relationships with friends and others? Whether we won or lost matches, we all worked together after all. And even today, we talk about not why we won a certain match, but why we lost. Things like who was doing what then. It's already been 45 years since we graduated, but we're still trying to figure out what went wrong. Still to this day? A match we were confident we'd win, but ended up losing. Was it a big tournament? Our captain made an error. Really? He's gone now. And we never blamed him, and don't blame him now. But it was that pass he made. After 45 years and it's still a scene you recall. He must have been a good friend. It's always fun, especially when we're talking about this over a drink. I see. It's always a blast. And now you're in the position of a company president. Many people often say being a president is a very lonely existence. Do you have people around you in the company now who you consider friends or partners? When I was a branch manager, and maybe when I was the manager of the head office, I tried in my own way to build a really close relationship with colleagues. And naturally, there are different views about this. But I think sticking to the same style as the president of the company can lead to a sense of favoritism. So, how should I put this? I try to keep a certain distance. So as a result, you've become that stereotype of a slightly lonely president. No, not slightly, extremely lonely. Extremely lonely. I see, not just a bit. But in the way of self-discipline, you yourself created that kind of environment. Since long ago, I've been one who likes to always be on my toes. I've always liked that sense of tension, and as company president now, I have to deal with many issues. My tendency of enjoying that tension is something I've had in my rugby playing days, of course, but also throughout my life. I see. I think it's not to discipline myself, but rather the way I overcome challenges. You mean not being part of a group lets you keep that sense of tension? Exactly. It's because you're in the position of a company president. From the perspective of Daiwa House Industry as a company, do you have what you could call friends or partners? We have two types. The first is related to the Livness town project we're engaged in. When we started working to recultivate the towns we developed, many people said they wanted to participate in our project. Some wanted to join in, even if part-time. They all wanted to focus on this and achieve a result, over a long time span, of course. They are truly our friends and partners. What's important about having friends, and this is still true now, is that they recognize when you're in trouble and lend a hand. I see. People with a heart. Yes, the Japanese character for yearning has the character for heart at the bottom. It does. The word love has the character for heart in the middle, so love has to come from the heart. When someone's in trouble, the question is whether you can truly stand by them with a sincere heart, listen to their pain. I place a lot of importance on that. I see. So when I was the sales office manager in Kobe, the branch manager in Himeji, and went to and came back from Kanazawa to become head office manager in Osaka, before I left those positions, I always gave people my mobile phone number and told them I would rush over whenever they had trouble. I tell them even if I'm on the opposite side of the world, I'll come back by the quickest route. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but what I often tell them is to call me no matter what. Did people actually call you? They did. I see. I get many calls. Many? From people needing help? The factory of a partnering company was on the verge of sinking after a downpour, and I got an SOS call from them. I told them we'd go there as quickly as possible to bring it back online. I was the head office manager at the time, and they were surprised I responded with just one call in spite of my position. They said they didn't think I would even take the call. I see. And now you're the company president. Do you think Daiwa House as a company has good friends and partners? I do. When we implemented the Daiwa Future 100 in-house startup policy, we got about 900 applications from inside and outside the company. After the first round screenings, about 60 groups remained. For example, someone wants to apply and start a business, so they get 5 others to join in. Those are friends and partners. I see. At the same time, even employees who don't make it to the second round are starting to build up their knowledge to take on the challenge again. I've read comments like, "I'm going to work harder next time," and "I understand what I'm missing." They're not discouraged at all and are motivated to start a business. That's because they have good friends. Seeing that this is already happening, even in this one aspect, makes me believe we made the right decision in launching this startup policy. I see. From your perspective, what's essential in making friends? There's only one thing, to not lie. Ah, I see. You can't lie. Joking around is fine. Even a lie that people know is a joke. And even a surprise to purposely trip someone up. But if you lie as if you're telling the truth, you'll end up losing friends. You're right. This is true in our relationships with customers as well. When you try to talk your way out of a situation, you end up lying, and you forget about that lie. However, the person who's listening clearly remembers what you said. From that perspective, I believe it's extremely important not to lie. And in your life as a businessman, you've always adhered to that idea. That's something others will need to decide. It's what I believe in, and this may sound a bit presumptuous as the face of the company and the president. But how people perceive me is the face of the company that people see. It's bad for the company after all, and I think it's important for me to be self-disciplined. A president who doesn't lie is a company that doesn't lie. It's an image that naturally develops. That's what I aspire to be.